It's really hard to meet people nowadays. Everybody's busy with work and hobbies. I thought I'd try internet dating, and I had heard from one of my friends she actually met her husband on there. And so I thought, well, I mean, there's got to be someone out there for me too. I would love to meet the man of my dreams and settle down one day and get married and have kids. And I was on there for a while, and I met this one guy, and he just seemed amazing. He was handsome and romantic and poetic, and so I decided after talking to him for a while that we should probably meet. I went to the coffee shop to meet him with just these sky high hopes, and I walked in, and he was staring, gawking at the barista like he was going to eat her. And yeah, so kind of all my dreams just kind of shattered to the ground right there. I was a little irritated, to say the least. I had wasted all of my time and investing my hope in him, and suddenly my whole future just seemed to come crashing down at me, and I was a little pissed off at this guy. I hate guys that have struggles or issues with their masculinity or issues with just being players. I think they're pathetic. And so anyways, my knight in shining armor ended up being a dud. And I thought, oh God, what am I going to do? I don't want to sit here and waste my time on him. I didn't want to be there anymore. But I was really angry. Like, I wanted to get even with him. And I wanted to make him really, really uncomfortable. So I was trying to think what I could do. And I could feel him coming up behind me. His eyes were all over me. And I was just... And I don't know if I am just inherently weird or what it is, but it just suddenly took over me. And he's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I turned around and I was like, "Hi, I'm wonderful. How are you?" And his face just froze, and he was just terrified. And I could tell he wanted to leave, but he felt a little bit rude, so he didn't. He stood, and I'm like, God, it's so good to finally meet you. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Like, I'm so nervous. And he's just like, oh God, so it's really you. And I'm like, yeah, it's really me. Come on, let's go sit down and talk. I really want to get to know you a lot better. Sat down and started drinking our coffee, and I'm some good coffee. What did you get? And he's like, I got a coffee. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. We totally have so much in common already. Oh my God. Wow. So how was the drive in here? Was it good? Was it rough? Was it tough? Or was it like okay? And he's like, it was okay. My drive was fine. I listened to music. And I'm like, oh good, really? Oh, it's good. And he's like, yeah, how was your drive-in? And I'm like, oh God, really? Thank you for asking. You must really care about me to be asking me something like that. Thank you. So, and he's thinking, he's like, I could tell he didn't know what to do, right? So I'm like, oh, well, so, I was thinking, why don't we, skip the joint here and maybe, go back to my place and get to know each other a little bit better? What do you think? Would that be, kind of nice? Well, but just then his cell phone rang. He grabs it and he's like, you know what? I gotta go. It's work. I gotta go. I gotta leave. And I'm like, oh, really? God. Well, I guess I understand. Well, okay. I guess, maybe you can call me later and, we'll get together and stuff like that. But, before you go, I wanted to show you my new happy glasses. Oh, like, really good. I think I suit them. Oh my God. So, what do you say? We'll get together soon, and, you can come to my house and we'll, like, huddle up and stuff on the couch. I'm really gonna miss you. I was wondering, maybe, you want to give me a hug? I mean, I think you probably kind of like me for coming out so far to see me. You do like me, right? Right? Well, how about you, let me hug? Come on. And I'm moseying over to him, and he's like, oh, oh, and I'm like, oh God. Plant a big one on his cheek, and he's like, oh my God, okay, I gotta go. He pushes me away gently, but then he just scoots out, just runs to his car, and I was like, well, as I'm sitting there looking after him, and I'm like, oh God, think I'm gonna try doing this whole internet dating thing again anytime soon. Yeah. But anyways, that's all I got for you. Happy Valentine's Day.